You know, while we're at it, the asteroid environment that they added a while ago, um, asteroid environment, it'll probably take a session change to have that fixed, but isn't this a little too much, right? I was just talking about how they, November 11th, 2021, they exploded the size of the asteroids, the size, by 10 times, while only doing the volume twice. And it was cool, but it was a little much. But it's the same thought. I zoomed in, and I was like, wait, this is a little much, isn't it? It's like, okay, maybe they're trying to break up the monotony of the crescent if you zoomed in. But it's a bit much, isn't it? And you're thinking, is this how they are all the time? A bit much, right? It is a bit much, isn't it? Could you, like, has anybody come up to them and go, yeah, could you tone it down with the asteroid environments just a little bit? You know, just a little bit. It looks like they took shit and threw it against the wall to see what stick, and that's what happened. Oh man, November 11th, 2021, the day they got bored with quadrants, the day they got bored with the long-term plan. It was just, they were lies, marketing lies, but it was like, it doesn't it look like they just threw shit against the wall? It was like, and just walked away. We're bored. We're gonna move on to something else. We're bored, right? And they didn't fix anything. They didn't encourage conflict. They were like, we know what drives conflict. And it's like, no, you don't. If you read the old dev blogs about it, it's like apples plus oranges equals pears, and you're like, why didn't I see that initially? It's because we're excited. They actually started talking about long-term plans instead of just, oh, the next patch is awesome, and they had, Alzheimer's about the last patch, right? So, isn't it funny? Yeah, you just start, you broach the subject with yourself about, you start the conversation about, that was a bit much back then. Could they have toned it down? And then, since you're in the mindset of, that was a bit much, you're like, yeah, this is also a bit much with isn't it just, it's just it's just, what were they thinking? I know they weren't thinking, were they? It's just, or if they, it's like they'll go one way, then you don't know where they're coming or going. It's like so sad, right? Yeah, it's like the new faction exploration frigates, completely sidestepping, and he's still working there. I forget his name. CCP, whoever. He had changed up the classes of all the ships. The roles and everything, even the frigates. Each frigate had a combat, blah blah blah. And by introducing the faction frigates, it kind of broke that a bit. And to go back and take a look at it again, to go back and take a look at, say, the icons of the haulers, and the icons of the industrial command ships. I did a video about that. Just invert the hauler graphics, use that industrial command ship icon, flip it vertically, and you got a perfect icon for haulers, right? The command ships can have the same icon, but now you've got room to make actual cruiser class mining barges and change the icon for the current one. The current barges as the current industrials. You know, make the icons make sense. But it's just too much. They just throw shit against the wall, and they don't step back and go, well, that was a good attempt, but how about we tone it down? I don't think they know how to tone it down. You know, it's just they rampage about like rampaging elephant. It just doesn't make any sense. But yeah, it is interesting, isn't it? How stuff that has been in the game for a while now, it's obvious they just walked away from it bored. You know, it's just so sad. You just take another look at it, right? Take another look at it and go, well, that was a bit much when we did the 10 times size of the asteroids. What about other stuff that we could like tone down? You know, that was cool. The aesthetics were nice. It got away from the cookie cutter. How about we do that again, but, you know, increase it by double and then keep going until people go, cool, that's good. But I honestly, myself, I would like to see them do that, simply for us to actually get a feel for, yeah, that was, could we revert to, like, they do it every month, they'll increase the size of the roids. And that would give enough time for people to actually get a grip for the new sizes and go, yeah, a bit more. And then eventually be like, yeah, we liked it like 3 times size, not 6 times size. Could we go that way? Because it is times 10 when you're up close mining it was a bit comical. So yeah, 3 times size, you know, but I can't say, I'm guessing, right? Maybe 6 times would be perfect. I don't know. But it's like, could we turn it down? And how about the asteroid environment, right? Could you tone it down a bit? But by how much would feel, like if you toned it down too much, it would just lose that sense of what they were trying to go for, right? So, right? It's like, but they're not even trying, and the fact they haven't after so long just totally reinforces the obvious point that they didn't care. They just walked away from it. Like and it's like, it just feels so like they're a bunch of freaking amateurs playing at being developers. That's the feeling you get. But when you look at it honestly, it's marketing that's been running CCP for quite some time. Like when Siegel was in, there was a bit of a revolution, but yeah, she didn't last long, unfortunately. But yeah, that's my opinion. Hey man, it's just my opinion.